from EBC. We're here today at Castle Combe to conduct the most comprehensive braking test of its kind. We're going to be comparing EBC products against the OE items on these three cars behind me and showing, together with data, just how much of an improvement and difference EBC products will make to upgrading your vehicle. We've got Jake Hill, a professional racing driver, here today with us to give honest, detailed feedback on how the brakes feel from behind the driving seat, so you can imagine how the EBC products are performing when pushed to the absolute limit out on track.
Hi, I'm Jake Hill and I'm driving for MB Motorsport in the British Touring Car Championship, the pinnacle of British motorsport. And today I've been invited down by EBC to test these three lovely cars behind me on the OE versus EBC brake pad and disc tests. Let's get into it. So the last lap or so, the GTR has really thrown the brake pedal out. I'm really struggling to stop it. The ABS is kicking in non-stop now. It's really hard work. You can feel the vibration from the ABS underneath the foot, and the travel on the pedal is extremely low. It's definitely not giving you the confidence you need, especially in a 500 horsepower, 550 horsepower GTR. So yeah, definitely not the most comfortable feeling. Seventh lap I've done now, this is lap number 7. The car is really not behaving in the braking zones, it's making me run wide. I'm trying to brake in the exact same positions to make the test fair. The ABS is absolutely to work. The brake pad is definitely dying. So yeah, not good standing out on the GTR. Experience very pleasant. The travel with the pedal is ridiculous, You're getting halfway down before anything's happening. Yeah, I'm going to call it off. Interesting though, for the first 3 laps it feels absolutely fine. Then you get a little bit of a long pedal, but nothing too bad, and all of a sudden, boom, it just drops off a cliff. The brake pedal goes, at least halfway down before any real braking happens, and the ABS is just kicking in non-stop, kicking your foot back off of the pedal. So it's definitely not the most comfortable feeling, but a good test nonetheless. Track was very greasy, a couple of dry lines there, but yeah, still dry enough to be able to lean on it. But yeah, not happy with them brakes at all.
So Jake, you've obviously just been out in the GTR. Probably start off with that first, then I imagine. So how did it go? You've been out there on the OE brake system.
Yeah.
How did it go?
Well, yeah, it's been a long time since I was on a completely standard GTR.
Standard pads and discs.
Pad, disc and caliper. You know, I've driven 56 GTRs now. So
you are the GTR man.
I
right?
do know them rather well. So yeah, to jump back into a completely standard GTR in every way and get a feel for how the brakes perform. Yeah, it's definitely a reset. And
quite wet out there as well, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, a little bit damp.
You were pushing the car, but obviously within what the track would allow.
Yeah, so we're on a Pilot Sport Michelin, so the tyre provides a good grip. 4 S's, yeah. So yeah, the track was drying at the end, so I got to really lay into the brake pedal and into the brakes just to see how they perform. And yeah, the results were quite conclusive, really. So
I mean, they were pouring smoke out when you came in here, so you were definitely working them pretty hard.
Yeah, we definitely lent on them.
How did they feel underfoot?
So first 3 laps really around Castle Combe were okay. The brake pedal was still with me. The performance wasn't bad at all. But then as it seems to get hotter and obviously got quicker and quicker with the car, the brake pedal started to go really long at first, and then the ABS would just take over massively and control the braking. So the car was dancing around.
Yeah,
all
it takes
over
it
the
away
place.
from you, doesn't it?
Yeah,
and that was the same with the AMS testing as well. It starts off quite well, but after about 15, 16 stops, I mean, it was just all ABS.
Really
you can feel all that pulsation through the pedal. It's really not very enjoyable, is it?
It's not just that, but it makes the car very unstable into the corner because the ABS is controlling, grabbing what brake it needs, and therefore it's unsettling the balance of the car, which is not good for any person driving the car on track. But
and that was after 3 laps.
Yeah. You know, that was the start of lap 4.
So you did about 6. So obviously the last 3 laps. How were things feeling for that?
Yeah, just not great, to be honest. You know, the pedal had got really long. There was no feel or bite to the pedal. It was really last sort of 20% of brake pressure. Everything was happening. So the ABS was just going mad and trying to control the vehicle and trying to keep it stable. But actually, it's hindering your progress. And obviously, you're not feeling very confident arriving into turn 1 at 150 miles an hour.
You're obviously, a very skilled driver. You're used to driving these cars, so you can kind of drive around that to an extent. Yeah. But I mean, if you were someone taking your car on a track day, and you hadn't driven 50 different GTRs on different brake systems, etc., that wouldn't really inspire confidence, would it? Some kind of feeling like that.
No, exactly. For someone who hasn't done many track days, it'd be a pretty scary thing to happen. You go any circuit, you're sort of 4 laps in, and already you're getting the brake fade, and it ruins the day, doesn't it? It takes away all confidence that you're trying to build throughout a track day. I mean, for the road, I'm sure they're fine. A standard pad.
On the road, they actually do feel very good. I mean, there's no noise. The pedal feel is good. Obviously, you're not getting anywhere near the same temperatures that you're getting on track. But on the road, the brake setup, the standard brake setup, is actually perfectly adequate, isn't it? Even for fairly spirited kind of road driving.
But you've got to remember, the car is obviously very heavy. It's like 1,800 kilos.
I mean, it's a brake killer. That's why we use it for testing.
Exactly. It's brilliant.
Best part of 2 tons.
It's brilliant for EBC to come up with a counterfeit for that and see if we can make it better, basically.
You're about to try it.
We are.
So obviously we'll do this again after you've had the experience of both materials, and then you can kind of draw direct comparisons. But just interesting, after you get out of the car, I just want to ask you how you're getting on, so it's all fresh in the memory.
Right, so we are 450 degrees now in the front. So far the pedal feels great. I've only got a very small loss, you know, compared to the standard pad, where the brake pedal has just gone to the floor completely. This EBC pad and disc is doing great, you know, it's really holding the car together. You know, approaching turn 1 at 150 miles an hour, the car is remaining, you know, perfect under the brake pedal. I've got complete trust in the brake that the car's going to stop. There's no ABS intrusion. You know, normally the car's grabbing. At the moment I've got absolutely nothing for that, so that's brilliant.
So what about the GTR then? Because I think, you know, you and I both kind of said that the OE brakes really on that car, okay for road driving, even fast road driving, but you take it on track and very, very quickly you run into the limit. So we were running EBC Racing's new RPX compound, which is, let's put it out there, is the best pad that EBC are currently making. Yeah. So we've thrown our best stuff on that car. So how did it perform?
You know, the actual feel and the transformation from OE to what we had on the GTR.
It's like driving a different car.
Completely.
Isn't it? Yeah.
You know, it's like you've spent thousands on the brake kit and you've transformed. You know, it's like you've got new calipers, new pads, discs. Obviously, we've got pads and disc in there, but it is like you've thrown a complete race setup at the car.
Yeah.
And that is what you've got. You know, the pedal is so consistent, so firm. And you can brake, my God, so much later than you could with the OE. But more importantly, 10-lap run.
That feel as well. How does that feel underfoot? You've got less pedal travel, have you?
Yeah. So you basically half the amount of travel in the pedal, but also, you know, the ABS isn't kicking you off. You know, with the OE pad, you're hard on the brake pedal. Pedal goes down a long way, and then your foot is being bounced off.
You're
of the
bouncing
pedal.
off the ABS.
Yeah.
All the time,
whereas with the EBC stuff in there, it is completely different. You know, you're modulating the brake rather than the ABS controlling it for you.
Yeah.
So therefore, like we found with the OE stuff, the car's really fighting me with the ABS and trying to throw me off. Whereas with the EBC products, it is a much more controllable state of entering the corner. You know, it's not trying to throw me off.
So that's with the RPX pad. So obviously, we've been working together on that for a few years, haven't we? I mean, you tried our early race pads, and obviously, you know, from that, eventually we spiraled out and came up with RP1. We've continued that development process, and now we've come up with RPX.
Yeah.
So to just kind of see where we've come from, really, in the last two or 3 years.
It's massive.
Yeah, I mean, for me, having driven the cars quite a lot, and it's nice to see that obviously that development that EBC are constantly working on is actually translating to you saying that you're more confident in the car, able to push it faster, setting quicker laps, which is and really attack the braking zones as well, which is, you know, giving you confidence to really attack the braking zone in a big, heavy, fast car as well.
It allows you to now go and do track days without spending thousands on a big brake kit. You know? I mean,
these pads are 250, 300 quid.
That's great.
So you know, a front set of pads, you put those in, and if you're getting that sort of result, it's pretty good value.
It's
really,
fantastic.
isn't it?
I mean, I'll definitely recommend putting it with your disc.
Yeah.
You know, the disc and pad combo is definitely what makes it the best thing.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, if you were just to throw the pads in a normal disc situation, for sure they wouldn't work at the same level as what we found today.
Yeah.
So the disc and pad combo that we had in there was just, for me, for a standard GTR, standard brake setup, throwing the EBC products in there, there's no better product to throw in a standard setup.
Yeah. Okay, well that's a good result.
Yeah.
I mean, so yeah, we tested all 3 cars. I think we've come out with 2 resounding success. On the one end, we're kind of there or thereabouts.
Yeah.
Which I think we knew to begin with is always going to. That was always a bit of the dark horse in the group. It was always going to be a bit difficult because the car does perform so well on the standard setup.
Yeah.
But in general, EBC products, big improvement over OE.
Yeah.
If you're doing track days or you're doing performance road driving, you know, this is it's a worthwhile upgrade to have if you really want to go out and do a track day and enjoy yourself, isn't it?
For me, it's the development. You know, I remember testing early phases of EBC products on some of my personal cars, sort of, you know, 6-7 years ago, and you know, you're thinking, yeah, good, but you know,
it's missing that something.
It's missing a bit, you know, and now,
which is why we're working with you. You know, we got you as a professional racing driver here to give us honest feedback. We're obviously always working forwards, as any engineering company is. Yeah. And we're always progressing the materials, and it is a massive transformation. I'll happily say that. I mean, it's they've come on to now fight the biggest names in brake company history. You know, so it's so you've
great.
driven GTRs with, you know, Padgett RS29s with. You know, so how does RPX compare to it? In honesty, is it equal? Is it very close? Is it perhaps a bit ahead?
You're always going to struggle on a standard caliper with the initial braking force that perhaps an Alcon kit or a super kit will provide.
But
you know, it will. You're always going to struggle to match that initial hit that those calipers give you, just because of the bigger pistons. You know, the more force,
the bigger pad area, the larger diameter disc.
Exactly.
As well.
You know, the more punch that they pack. You know, behind that caliper, but. Having said that, you know, some of those designs and some of those big brake kits you get, they still have the fade. You know, they still have all of that. And what you guys have produced here with the GTR is, you know, something that's just A, affordable, and B, a direct placement without spending thousands, and works, in my opinion, almost just as good as some of the massive, expensive big brake kits.
Spent £10,000, £12,000 on a big brake kit, and what are they getting? They're probably getting another 3-5% on braking.
Yeah, I think the only
for 20 times the cost.
I think the only way you're really going to go a lot better than what we've produced here
Yeah.
is like a carbon ceramic. That's it.
You got to really start spending thousands and thousands and thousands. Yeah.
There's no, I don't think there's anything that's going to get, you know, nowhere near as close as what a carbon ceramic will, but these will definitely give you a fairly good run for your money.
Yeah,
So, you know, what you've got here is definitely a great product.
Yeah. I mean, that's great, mate. So thanks a lot for coming along today.
Cheers.
And yeah, it's been great.
Yeah.
Thanks for keeping all the cars in one piece. It's also good.
Yeah.
That's what we pay you the big bucks for. So yeah, thanks
Thank
to
you.
Jake Hill for coming today. And that's been EBC versus OE. And we hope that we've given you some information on how our products work on track and some honest advice, and hopefully that's useful to you.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Cheers.